Welcome to Tuesday Testimonials, where we explore the lives and commitment of the sons and daughters of USF. I'm Frank Allocco, and today I am pleased to be here with Mark Papadopoulos. If any of you have ever been to a game in the Bay Area, you've probably seen Mark do his thing. He's everywhere. He has run events to the Bay Area for the past 26 years, and we are absolutely thrilled to visit with him today. Mark, welcome to Tuesday Testimonials.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it.
Mark, I know you're a local guy. You grew up in Fairfield. Tell me a little bit about growing up and how you got excited about sports.
So I've always been in the event side of things. I know as a kid, I was about 8 years old, and I think my mom said, hey, would you like to do either karate or would you like to do sports? And the shoes really didn't fit me very well, and I didn't really like the baby doll style, so I went the sports route. And so sports have always been pretty big in my family.
That's great. Now, do you have brothers and sisters? Were they athletes?
Yeah, so actually my mom and my sister were world champion baton twirlers, where they twirled for the 49ers. My sister was actually going to the Olympics in 1980 when we boycotted. My father was actually a AAA level type baseball player in San Francisco, the Seals. And then my brother played football at UC Davis, and he's an athletic administrator in high school and a football coach at Vacaville High School.
So, Mark, you said you were always into events and entertainment. I mean, what were your goals growing up? Did you migrate to sports? I mean, what were you thinking you wanted to be when you grew up?
Yeah, so if you know me, I'm actually standing up right now. I'm 5 feet nothing. So my goals in life was one day of college baseball. Another goal was to own a minor league baseball team or be an athletic director. And so it was in the entertainment/athletic side. And so that's always been the number one goal in my life.
So you had it pretty well covered. So you go to college, and did you play baseball in college?
Yeah, I was very fortunate to play at San Diego State University. Won 2 championships there, played with about 25 players that are now in the major leagues. Then I transferred to Sonoma State to finish out college.
So on the baseball side, what was your greatest asset as a baseball player?
So I was fortunate. I was a utility player, and fortunate enough at San Diego State, we led the nation in substitutions. And so I fit into their system fairly well, where I could pinch run, pinch hit, defensive replacement, leadoff hitter in those situations. So kind of a jack of all trades, which allowed me to get into every single game, even though I wasn't the starter.
Now, I heard you had 2 records for a while, one involving striking out and one involving walks. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so at Sonoma State, I think I was 11th in the nation for on-base percentage / walks per game, where being my size, the pitchers had a real tough time with me. So I had like a 590 on-base percentage or something like that. And then, like I said, I walked a lot. So I had like 50 walks in a season. And even in high school, it was kind of funny where I didn't strike out until my very last at bat my senior year. So I went about a year and a half without striking out. But the record, that was a ball. It hit the dirt.
I love it. So you got into administration, and I know you did it the right way. I mean, you tried a lot of different things at a lot of different players. Give me a little overview of your administrative journey.
So after Sonoma State, San Francisco State called and said, hey, would you come and be our assistant media relations director? And so on my 4th day of getting there, Kyle McCray, who was the media relations officer there, took a job at USF. And so on my 4th day, he basically said, hey, you're the new SID. And so for a whole year, I ran San Francisco State's media relations department. Then after a year there, went up to Sacramento City College to start media relations for them at the junior college ranks. And then from there, the West Coast Conference office and the Oakland A's worked there. And then my first break at USF opened up, where Bill Hogan called and said, hey, we want you to interview for the job of our event management position. And so I came down the next day, and on my way home, he actually offered me the job. From USF, we ran the Sweet 16, which was pretty cool. And then San Jose State called and asked if I'd start a game operations department for them and run the Sweet 16 with their team. And so I did that for a year. It was 7 hours by train a day. And so took a little taxing on the family. And then another Bay Area school called me. And so I accepted the job there for without even knowing the salary, just because it was a 30-minute drive, and then worked there for 9 years. And then USF fortunately called and said, hey, we have an opening, your old position. And they didn't even have to finish the sentence, and I was there in a heartbeat. And so that's basically my journey.
Mark, you have incredible experiences with collegiate athletics, minor league baseball, running major events. The thing that always impresses me about you is you're just always so calm and cool under pressure, running these events and doing so many different things. It always seems when something goes wrong, you're there, you're just doing whatever you have to do to solve the problem. Tell me about that. How do you keep so calm and cool?
Oh, I fooled you. Most of the time, I have no clue what I'm doing. No, just kidding. I think just over time, you've experienced things and you realize on the inside, you could be going crazy, but on the outside, you really do have to give that aura that everything is okay. Because I think people feed off of that. And as the leader, you're out of control, then everybody else is going to be out of control as well. So I think for the most part, like I said, with 20 plus years of doing events, about 100 events a year, I've seen a lot of things and I've seen a lot of things break. And so with all of that, you realize, okay, last time I was in this situation, here's what I did. So let's start there first.
Well, I think it helps too that you've done a lot of things. Think about everything that goes into an event. Tell me what you've done with everything, every skill or everything that goes into making up a great event, you've probably had some experience with. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I don't know if I'm good at what I do. I think the main thing is I care. And it's okay to not have the answers, but know where to find them and know and the people that put yourself around better people than you. So that'll make your job a lot easier. I think for me, my first go around, I did the tickets, I did the promotions, the games, the facility rentals, concessions, parking, as well as the broadcasts. And that was just myself, Ryan McCrary, Pete Simon. For the most part, us three did everything. And so we learned on the fly. We made mistakes. We got better, just like in athletics, you learn. And then what are we going to stay away from this time, or what are we going to watch for this time? And so from sport, I think from what I've done or the people that I've been around, you always ask yourself, in this situation, who's it going to affect? And then you take yourself out of your current situation or your current body and then see the event from different people's sides. So
you made a little detour, you made a couple stops along the way, but you came back to USF. Well, it's quite a different place from when you left. When you look at the renovations of War Memorial Gym, the new locker rooms, the training facilities, and the Sobrato Club, and the potential of groundbreaking soon on the Malloy practice pavilion, which I think is going to be awesome. And I know for you, that's quite a challenge to manage all of those things. What's it like to be working for Joan McDermott? Joan's a baseball person, right? And so I know you probably really love that about her.
Yeah. And, when you come to a new place, you kind of do some research on, basically who you're going to be working with. And like I said, I knew you from the high school playoff days and your background. So that was pretty cool. And then also, like I said, with Joan, when you just Google her name and all of the accomplishments that she's done, she's also a USF alum. And so it comes to be more like family. And just talking with Joan all the time, you could tell that she cares. And even when she has to make tough decisions, very similar to what we're going through right now, she takes it personal. And you could tell that she has the passion and the people's best interest in mind. And that's just like, just in watching you or working with you the last couple of years, that's people that I want to surround myself with. So it's been a great journey.
With all your years of experience, do you have a special memory, a favorite USF memory?
one of the better memories that doesn't have anything to do with the wins and losses was a season ticket holder my first week back a couple years ago said, "Hey, weren't you here 10 plus years ago?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I was." He goes, "You know what? You really helped me in a situation that I had. And I was always coming back to look for you, but you were gone. And I just want to say thank you for helping me back then. You didn't know me at the time. You didn't have to help me, but you went above and beyond to help. And I just want to say I really appreciate that." Another thing was 6 of my former student workers, 6 sets, have now gotten married. So from event management, working, they ended up getting married.
Wow.
And then the biggest one is when they do come back with their families, or even the old student athletes, or even just students, and they come back and say, "Hey, I understand now everything that you did for me. I really appreciate it, and you really impacted my life, and I will definitely pass it forward. So thank you."
And I think that says it all. Your life really is about elevating others, treating everyone with dignity. And I love that you model the place you work for. You're a great representative of the university. And in conclusion of this Tuesday testimonial, I ask you one simple question. Why'd you come back? Why are you still here?
Oh, this is the best place. I mean, this is family. Like you just asked, what about Joan? What about you? What about Linda Lappy? You could tell that we care, and we care about the kids. And that's our slogan. It's all about the kids. Everything we do is the best interest of the kids. And someone made it possible for me to be able to play at this level. And it's my way of giving back to the next generation. That's what Don Ott and Mitch Cox basically taught me growing up. And that's what I want to push forward to the next generation of humanity.
Well, you've certainly done that. And Mark, I want to thank you so much for your time today and for the difference you've made in 2 different stints at USF. You know, you are a contact hitter who never strikes out, a guy who loves being a role player and embraces the many roles you play. And finally, you're a great teammate who always puts himself second for the good of the team and your commitment to change the world from here. Thanks for all you do, Mark.
Thank you for having me.